Motion sickness, the false poison alarm. You'd think the most advanced organ in your body, the one running every heartbeat, memory, and emotion, would have your back. But no. Half the time, your brain makes decisions that should have gotten it fired ages ago. It floods your body with panic at false alarms, locks your muscles in place, and sometimes decides the best way to save you is to make you sick. It's not broken, just dangerously outdated, because your brain isn't built for you. It's built for survival in a world that hasn't existed for thousands of years. Now that same confusion just gives you motion sickness. You're sitting on a bus scrolling your phone. Your eyes report, everything's still. But your inner ear, those tiny canals filled with fluid that sense motion, shouts, "We're moving! We're spinning! We're under attack!" And your brain, trying to reconcile the chaos, draws the worst possible conclusion. You've been poisoned. See, back when bad berries could drop you faster than a saber-toothed tiger, conflicting sensory input meant one thing. Your nervous system was being hijacked. So, in its infinite prehistoric wisdom, your brain hits the emergency eject button. Nausea. Your pulse spikes, your stomach lurches, and your body prepares to purge a toxin that doesn't exist. You're not dying, just trapped in a false alarm set off by a confused command center that still thinks you live in the woods. Every wave of dizziness is a misfire between past and present. A reminder that even in an air-conditioned bus, your brain's still running Stone Age software, and it's more than willing to make you suffer if it thinks it'll save your life. Goosebumps, the ancient fear reflex. You step outside on a cold morning and feel that shiver ripple through your skin. Tiny bumps rising across your arms like your body's trying to dial up its own thermostat. But the truth is, this isn't about temperature. It's about fear. Goosebumps are a primitive defense mechanism from a time when your ancestors were covered in thick hair. Back then, when danger appeared, a rush of adrenaline made those little muscles at the base of every hair follicle, the erector pili, contract. The result? Hair standing on end, making early humans and animals look larger, more intimidating, harder to bite. It was the Stone Age version of puffing out your chest. But you're hairless. So when your modern brain senses cold or fear, it sends the same signal. And all it gets for the effort is a bumpy texture that looks like the surface of a plucked chicken. It's not helping. It's just your sympathetic nervous system misfiring, mixing up emotional threats and physical ones. That's why you can get goosebumps from a horror movie, a breakup song, or someone whispering your name in the dark. Your body doesn't know the difference between a predator and a power ballad. In those moments, you're watching ancient programming run on new hardware. An echo of survival instincts that no longer serve you, but your brain refuses to uninstall. Brain freeze, the pain that isn't real. You take a massive sip of an ice-cold drink. For 2 seconds, it's bliss. Then suddenly your skull feels like it's imploding. You grab your head, eyes squeeze shut, wondering how frozen joy turned into instant regret. That's brain freeze, a punishment your body invented for enjoying things too fast. Its real name, sphenopalatine ganglioneuralgia, sounds like a medical spell, but it's really just bad wiring. When the cold hits the roof of your mouth, it shocks a cluster of blood vessels. They tighten up, then overcorrect and dilate, sending pain signals through the trigeminal nerve, the one that handles sensation in your face. But that nerve can't tell where the pain started, so your brain just guesses, must be the forehead. That's why you clutch your head instead of your mouth. It's not real damage, it's a signal mix-up. Your brain mistakes temperature confusion for mortal danger and rewards you with 10 seconds of blinding agony. Then, when it's over, it doesn't learn a thing. It just files it away as a successful emergency response, ready to do it all again the next time you touch a milkshake. Fainting when your brain cuts the power. Your vision narrows. The world fades at the edges like an old film reel burning out. Your hearing goes muffled, your knees buckle, and then darkness. No warning, no control, just a complete system shutdown. That's fainting, or the vasovagal response, one of your brain's most dramatic and least helpful survival tactics. It's the biological equivalent of pulling the fire alarm when someone lights a candle. Here's the logic twisted as it is. When your body experiences extreme stress, pain, or fear, your autonomic nervous system can overreact. Your vagus nerve, the main communication line between your brain, heart, and gut, fires off a wave of electrical signals designed to calm you down. But instead of gently lowering your blood pressure and heart rate, it drops them like a rock. Blood flow to the brain plummets, oxygen levels dip, and just like that, your consciousness gets evicted. From an evolutionary standpoint, this may have once served a purpose. Some scientists believe fainting evolved as a way to play dead in the face of predators, making the body limp and unthreatening, or to minimize blood loss from injury by dropping you flat before you could bleed out, which made sense when your biggest threats had claws, but not so much when it's triggered by a paper cut, a crowded room, or your cousin's wedding speech. Your brain sees a spike in stress and slams the off switch, thinking it's protecting you. But in modern life, all it's protecting you from is staying upright. It's a defense mechanism that forgot what century it's in. One moment you're standing still, and the next, your brain's pulled the plug to save you from your own emotions. And while you're lying there, blinking up at the ceiling, pale and confused, your body slowly reboots, as if nothing happened. You wake up groggy, embarrassed, and perfectly fine. Because the very system meant to keep you alive still hasn't realized. It's overcorrecting for threats that no longer exist. Hiccups. The reflex left over from evolution. You're mid-sentence when your diaphragm decides to jump the gun. Hiccup! No warning, no reason, just pure biological chaos. That's a hiccup, the world's most pointless reflex. It starts when your diaphragm spasms and your vocal cords snap shut, all because your brain misfires a signal through the vagus or phrenic nerve, the same ones that control breathing and swallowing. Scientists think it's a leftover from our amphibian ancestors, a reflex that once helped them move water through primitive lungs and gills. Now it's just ancient code running on modern hardware. Eating too fast, fizzy drinks, a cold rush, anything can trigger it. Your body thinks it's helping, your brain knows it's not. And every time it happens, you're reminded that deep down, you're just a slightly upgraded fish with Wi-Fi. Hypnic jerk. Your brain thinks you're falling. You're seconds from sleep. That strange in-between where your thoughts start dissolving, your limbs go heavy, and then your whole body jolts like you just fell off a cliff. You wake up in a panic, heart racing, staring at the ceiling like you've been electrocuted by your own imagination. That's the hypnic jerk, one of your brain's cruelest practical jokes. It's the biological equivalent of a false alarm that slams your entire body awake just to ask, "Hey, are you still alive?" Here's what's actually happening. As you start to drift off, your reticular activating system, the part of your brainstem responsible for keeping you conscious, begins to power down. Your heart rate slows, your breathing steadies, your muscles relax. And somewhere in that transition, your brain panics. It mistakes the drop in muscle tone for the feeling of falling. In a split second, it fires a surge of neural electricity through your motor cortex and spinal cord, snapping your body back to life before you've even realized what's happening. From an evolutionary standpoint, scientists think this might have been a survival reflex from when our ancestors slept in trees. The theory goes that the brain developed a last-second failsafe, a jolt to keep you from rolling off a branch mid-dream. So even though you now sleep in a bed, wrapped in blankets and surrounded by Wi-Fi, your nervous system still believes there's a chance you're about to plummet 30 feet to your death. The jerk itself is harmless, but it exposes something deeper, your brain's constant paranoia. It never truly relaxes. Even in sleep, it's wired to interpret calm as danger, stillness as falling, peace as potential death. You might call it a twitch, but really it's a ghost from the jungle whispering, "Don't get too comfortable." Stomach drop. Sensory lag that feels like death. Your seatbelt clicks. The roller coaster climbs, inch by inch, higher into the sky. Then, sudden silence. A split second later, gravity grabs you by the spine, and your stomach plummets like it's trying to escape your body. Your brain knows you're safe, but your organs violently disagree. That's the stomach drop, one of the strangest sensations your nervous system can produce. A full-body panic, triggered not by danger, but by a delay in communication between your brain and your internal organs. Here's what's happening. When your body moves quickly, like in a falling elevator, an airplane dip, or a roller coaster drop, your inner ear and proprioceptive system, the sensors that track your body's position, instantly register the change. But your internal organs, floating loosely inside your abdominal cavity, don't catch up right away. They shift downward for a split second while your brain's still trying to calculate what just happened. That mismatch between movement and expectation creates the hollow, free-fall feeling that makes your gut feel like it's been unplugged. And because your autonomic nervous system hates uncertainty, it floods your body with adrenaline to prepare for impact, just in case this really is the end. Your pulse spikes, your breath shortens, and for a moment, your brain and body are completely out of sync. One insisting it's fine, the other preparing to meet God. In truth, the stomach drop isn't danger. It's lag. Your brain runs predictive software to anticipate motion, but when reality outpaces it, that prediction error feels like falling to your death. It's the same glitch that makes you jolt awake from a dream where you trip, the body catching up to the lie the brain just told. It's pure physiology wrapped in existential dread. Your brain built an entire system to protect you from falling, but forgot to tell your organs how to keep up. Ear popping. The pressure fix gone wrong. The plane begins to descend. Your ears clog. Sound fades. And for a moment, it feels like your head's filling with static. Then pop. Relief. That's your eustachian tubes opening. two narrow tunnels connecting your middle ear to your throat. Their job is to equalize pressure when the air around you changes faster than your body can keep up. But your brain, always a half step behind, has to manually trigger that fix through a series of tiny muscle contractions. If it fires too late or not at all, pressure builds, your eardrums flex, and your sense of balance and hearing go sideways. That single pop is your body's way of rebooting, your brain finally catching up to reality. For a split second, you were trapped in your own head, cut off from sound and equilibrium, just because evolution built the world's most sensitive pressure system, and then gave it a lag problem. It's a perfect reminder that even when your brain gets it right, it usually does so after making you miserable first. Your brain's not out to get you. It's just running ancient code on modern hardware. Every glitch is a reminder it's still learning how to be human. So, before it forgets, hit subscribe while you still remember how.